for you, so you can deworm more efficiently with less dewormer. And with peak blood absorption in only 20 hours, Synanthic blows away the competition and keeps working longer than the leading brand. Be a Synanthic man and get more deworming done with less dewormer. Visit your local animal health supplier and pick up Synanthic today.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice, beautiful Monday, Memorial Day. Thank you for tuning in. Part of the program this morning has been rebroadcast because some of the folks who bring us some of the segments took the day off. So some of these segments have been live and some of them have been recorded. This one is live. Gina DeLapa is on the phone. She served as the editor for Loose Change and 4 Bits. She's a money columnist for Grand Rapids Magazine. She's a career columnist for RelevantMagazine.com and collegejournal.com. And she teaches, I love this one, she teaches etiquette to Deutsche Bank. Those German bankers, they need some etiquette.
I know, they sure do.
I'm teasing. She taught etiquette classes, also to Moss Adams, the Grand Valley State University, and she's a college professor and author. And the book we're going to talk about is called Stuff You Already Know. I think there are 2 books with that title, right?
Yep.
Stuff You Already Know and Every College Student Should, and the other one, Stuff You Already Know and Everybody Should. And I was looking at the website, some funny stuff on here. Beware of the organization whose response to a burning building is to form a committee. That is a good one. That is a really good one. Gina DeLapa. Good morning, Gina.
Hey, good morning, Larry. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from San Diego. It's not quite sunny here yet, but
it's not?
Hope springs eternal.
Well, thank you for getting up early to be with us this morning on a holiday, after all. This is. What's the genesis of the book? How did it start?
Larry, I guess I just have a lot of opinions, but, and I don't know what I'm thinking until I write it down. But the first book started, and anybody can do this. I always encourage people to do this for themselves. It started because my nephew, Adam, was starting high school, and I wanted to give him some words of wisdom, and everybody's got a lifetime of wisdom to share. And so I bought a little red leather journal, and I just started jotting down some things that would help him. And, it wasn't too long before I realized, hey, this can benefit more than just a high school kid. This is really good encouraging reminders for all of us. And so it wasn't too long before the journal turned into a manuscript, and the manuscript turned into a book, and the book turned into a series, and that really has become my career, and it's just huge fun. And again, I encourage everybody to keep track of what life teaches you, and your life will truly never be the same.
The excerpt that you have online, and the website for those who want to look at it right now, is stuffyoualreadyknow.com. Mm-hmm. And you have an excerpt on there. And the number one thing is set yourself up for success. So it's just absolutely the one thing I hope everybody learns. Everybody gets this, I hope.
Yeah, everybody knows it, in their head, but do they follow it? Do they, and it's something that I think about every day, from, the foods I buy at the grocery store. It's why I don't shop when I'm hungry, because I'm not going to make...
Oh, that's interesting, yeah. See, I was thinking big picture, but you're right, the details are also things we would set ourselves up for success for.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I often think about this, though, is that while we know we should be setting ourselves up for success, as you say, these are things we already know.
Right.
A lot of times we get fooled. I don't know. There's probably different ways by advertising, by scam artists or whatever, and they show you, I know how you can. Let me show you how to be successful, rather than you using your own instinctive gut or whatever. You know?
Oh yeah, and I'm a big believer in just trust yourself. Here's the thing with advice. I give advice sparingly or cautiously because I don't live with the consequences. So I'm very careful in my books to say, look, filter this through the lens of your own experience and keep and pass along only what is useful. I think that's an important distinction. But yeah, to your point about getting fooled by advertising, I've bought probably more than one program late at night on an infomercial. It was
right.
20 years ago.
Me too.
Do that now. Yeah. Note to self: don't make decisions when you're tired or hungry or lonely, because you're gonna. Hey, I need that. 20 CD set.
Right. Oh, I did that. Oh gosh, I helped Tony Robbins get rich.
I wasn't going to mention Tony's name, but
no, I'm not. And you wonder something? He gives good advice, but the truth is, I bought those cassettes when they were cassettes before they were CDs.
Oh yeah.
And I'll never forget. I was listening to him in the car every day, and I'll never forget the part where he has this swoosh thing, where you gotta change this idea to another idea by putting your finger on your toe and then raising it up to the air and saying swoosh. And you go, I was thinking to myself, what?
Well, Tony's helped a lot of people.
I know.
Take anything away from him. Everybody's got to find their own style.
Yeah.
So all due respect to Tony Robbins.
It seems that common sense these days now is sort of has sort of gone by the wayside, because this world seems to be so politically correct that a person just can't be themselves and say what they want to say without feeling they're going to offend somebody, or it's just not, copacetic to say something. But their common sense is almost gone, and that's such a shame.
Well, yeah, as the saying goes, common sense isn't always common practice. And I actually have a point about political correctness in the first book. I say, distinguish between political correctness and manners. It's to me, it's the example I use is it's politically correct to call a Christmas tree a holiday. It's good manners to respect that not everyone celebrates Christmas.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
So anyway,
let me ask you about your brother Tony.
Oh my!
His advice.
Listening, by the way.
To get married in your own.
Get married in your own shoes. Yeah. I agree with that, because those renter shoes are very, very tight.
Well, yeah, and it's the principle of the thing.
Tell me the principle, because I was being silly with my comment. What do you mean by that?
Well, I didn't ask him, but I know Tony, and he tends to have kind of a dry sense of humor, and there's often much beneath the surface of what he says. So I took "get married in your own shoes" to be, get married as your own person, for one thing, and I think it has a literal meaning and a figurative meaning. I mean, you're not going bowling, you're getting married, so get married in your own shoes. If you're going bowling, fine, rent the shoes, but this is too important. And Tony also has, I think, size 15 feet, so that might have been where he's coming from. It's like, here, cram into these size 13.
Kind of funny.
But yeah.
So
I have big feet too.
So you're giving advice to your nephew, and now it's expanded. Did you give romantic advice? Did you give financial advice? Are all of those in there?
Oh, okay. First of all, I'm Aunt Gina, so there's certain things that he doesn't want to hear about from me.
Okay. So romantic stuff stays away. Okay.
No, I mean, I have a few little fun romantic things, like, look, don't get your wife a gift from the drugstore or the airport. I think that's fair.
No?
Humorous things. I mean, what else?
You mean a real gift? I mean, a Snickers bar would count, right?
I think so. I love Snickers.
The giant, the giant bag of M&Ms, that always goes over well. The tin of popcorn really just.
But not, you mean not for your anniversary? Just bring it home.
And as far as the financial advice, my thought on that is that's really a whole separate topic, number one. And number two, I wrote about personal finance for years. Well, put it this way. My love is for writing and for words and for, inspiring people and influencing people through words. The financial part was just kind of hired for. So when I went back to grad school and put my career on a different track, I left that behind as much as possible. I just think other people can address that better than I. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's an important topic for sure.
Fun conversation we're having, Gina. Gina, we need to take a little break, and we'll be right back. I have to ask you though about the etiquette lessons to Deutsche Bank. There's just something funny about that line right there. All right. I'm not so sure why I find it funny, but I just do. All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, Memorial Day, it'll be partly sunny with a breezy afternoon. There can be a couple of thunderstorms around during the afternoon and evening hours. The high 86 on the coast, but 92 inland. Partly to mostly cloudy later tonight, though 72 to 76. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun and becoming breezy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm around, high 86 at the coast, 92 inland. Wednesday, clouds and sun, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Friday, May 29th, kicks off the second annual Ocala Bike Fest. It starts at Harley-Davidson of Ocala, where you'll find vendors, beer, food. It starts at 11 a.m. with a live DJ till 3 and live music from 3 to 7. Then Saturday starts off at Ocala Indian with a poker run at 10:30 a.m. It all ends up at ARC's main campus on Mare Camp Road, where you'll find bike games, 50-50 drawing, beer, and live music by the Blues Busters, Rusted Steel, and more. The best barbecue restaurants and food trucks in town are going to be there competing for the title of the Ocala Bike Fest's Best Barbecue, and most importantly, the chance drawing for the hardest decision you'll ever have to make.
A brand new Harley or a brand new Indian?
That's right. This year's winner will choose between the Harley or the Indian.
Indian or the Harley?
The 112-year battle continues. Which bike will go home with the lucky winner? The public is welcome to all events. No motorcycles needed. Come out, have fun, and help a great cause all at the same time. Friday and Saturday, May 29th and 30th. For more information, visit ocalabikefest.com.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
All right. Gina DeLapa is on the phone. Her books are called Stuff You Already Know, and every college student should, and the other one, Stuff You Already Know, and everybody should. And she already gave us kind of a background of the story, how it all started, was giving her nephew some advice, and it evolved from there. Gina, thank you for waiting through the breaks. Okay, so let's ask about this etiquette thing for the Deutsche Bank. What does that mean? They were being like nasty or something? What was going on?
No. Here's what. I was a career counselor for a number of years at a university, and what I observed is the university did a fair share of helping students get their job, right? What we weren't helping them do is succeed once they were there. And so I saw an opportunity for a business here, and so I left the university and started a little company called Real World Etiquette. Well, okay, turns out people really weren't so keen on etiquette and really even not so keen on the real world, but it was a good thought. It was a good thought, and I had realworldetiquette.com, and Deutsche Bank reached out to me, and I owe them a lot because they knew that my niche was helping 20-somethings succeed in their first professional work role. And so they had a new group coming in of new college graduates who were, I can't remember if they were analysts or what, but they all had kind of the same job function, and they had been put through weeks of training. And so they brought me to their Wall Street office to do a half-day session on etiquette and professionalism. And we really made it fun. I think that's one of the things I have the ability to do is to make this topic fun, so it's not, like Mrs. McGillicuddy
Right.
to put your pinky in the air. It's more basic things about, what to talk about in the workplace, what not to talk about, how to feel comfortable in the work setting and social settings and all that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And then they brought me back to a different location 3 more times. So just huge fun. And when you were talking about the book titles, it occurred to me that I should clarify for our listeners that sometimes people say, well, why would I read a book about stuff I already know? and the tagline, and we'll get to that in a moment, but my tagline is Life's Ultimate Reminders. We don't need to be told
that.
so much as to be reminded. But part of why I named it Stuff You Already Know, too.
Well,
no one wants to get a book that says, here, you need this.
Okay, but you have one in the excerpt that I wanted to tell you struck a chord with me or reminded me of something. I had a friend. It's number 10. Beware the relationship that's high maintenance, low reward.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I got a little story. I had a friend. And this friend had a beautiful girlfriend. I mean, she could have been a supermodel, okay? And he was a work friend, so whenever she would come to the workplace, of course, all the guys' heads would turn, and there he is with this beautiful girl.
okay.
Well, when they broke up, I mean, he was heartbroken. And I said to him, I'm not really the best person to give advice about relationships, but here's my observation. You were with her because she was beautiful. Now, if she had also been like a really good friend, the same way us guys are friends with each other, and she was beautiful, then you would have had the best of both worlds. But I said, when you find a girl who you would be friends with, even if she was a guy, and you're not with her because she's a girl, but because she's a friend, then looks won't even matter anymore. I mean, you'll
Right.
And you know what happened? A couple of years later, I bumped into him. He said, you were right, and he introduced me to his wife, and she was a cute woman, and they were best friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
well, it was more of a heart connection, obviously, than just wow, look at her kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think, and going back to the thing, well, I know that already. Yeah, you know it already, but sometimes it's just like you say, I know I shouldn't spend $400 on a pair of shoes, but the advertisement makes me think I should.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. There's a line from a movie where someone said, you knew my history when you married me. Your analyst warned you, and the guy said, yeah, but you were so beautiful, I got another analyst. So that's kind of how we work sometimes. Here's the other thing, too, because I would notice this when I was a career counselor. Somebody would come in and do a practice interview. Always a good thing when you have an actual job interview. Go do a practice run and get all the
good idea
worked out.
Yeah.
But students would sometimes say, I'd give them some suggestions, and they'd, I knew that. And it's like, well, when you hear it, it makes sense. But you could have stayed up all night and not thought of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kind of the high maintenance, low reward thing. It makes sense when you hear it, but we don't always consciously think of these things.
And sometimes, I mean, the aunt and nephew relationship that started this whole thing, being the older person, sometimes you've gone through things already, even though the younger person doesn't want to believe you know more than he or she.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that old Buddhist saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And, I've learned that it's not like you can just tell somebody, hey, do this or don't do that, and they're going to go, oh, good to know, point noted. No, they got to fall down and get bloody and get up again and make their own mistakes. But when they go back and read what you know what, you were right about that. And then the advice kind of sinks in more.
You talk about glorifying God, that is extremely important.
Well, it is, and I realize this is a very personal subject, but again, to me, glorifying God is have good hygiene, use your turn signals, and you know what I'm saying? It's in the human virtues where I think we really show that.
You should turn signals. You know what? I'm putting that on my bumper sticker.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've had to shush old ladies in church before, and I'm thinking, of what value is your little veil and your piety if your cell phone's going off and you're answering the phone?
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess I have some opinions, but hey.
And you also have real life observations. I mean, one of them is never cook bacon in the nude.
I got that actually from a guy that I was in a training with. He's a long-haired guy, very funny young guy. And anyway, I just it struck me as funny. I wrote it down, and I thought, yeah, that's too good not to share. But again, hey, set yourself up for success. And the whole point with all of this is, hey, life is hard enough, right? And why not make life a little easier? Why not smooth the road for people and give them, just come alongside them with some love and laughter and encouragement and inspire them. That's what I live to do.
I imagine that this is the kind of book that somebody would pick up at an airport and read on the airplane. It's laid out in such a way that you could enjoy it in that environment. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. Airlines, or airports, in the bathroom. Hey, we gave it kind of a glossy cover. You know what? If you want to read it in the Louvre, be my guest. I don't judge. You know what? But you're right. You can kind of. It's low commitment, right? It's low maintenance, high reward, because you can dip into it as you wish. You don't have to commit to reading, 30 pages in a chapter.
Right. Is this so the two books are part of a series, and will there be more, or are there already more?
No, I've got more in the works, but right now I'm really focusing on promoting the college one, with this being graduation season, and it's really a book that lends itself to promoting year-round, and I owe it to myself to do that. Yes, the career counselor in me wants to put out a book for job hunters, because this is, we don't look for a job every day, and so our skills get rusty in between times that we do. And again, I think I can add some humor and levity to that subject while shaving some time off the reader's learning curve, give them a little bit of hope and good counsel. The Catholic in me wants to do stuff you already know, and every Catholic should. I've got some. Maybe get Pope Francis to write the foreword.
Oh wow, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
A girl can dream. You know what? And but anyway, so yes, there are a number of others.
So give us some examples from the college one. I don't think I have any excerpts from that one, or am I wrong? Is that what I was reading from?
No, you were reading from Stuff You Already Know and Everybody Should.
Okay.
So some excerpts from the college one. Here's one. Be thankful for your roommates. They're there to remind you that not every family is as nutty as your own. Some are much more so.
Yeah, right.
Let's see here. I'm just flipping through. Think 3 times before getting a tattoo.
There you go.
Yeah.
My friend Jody said it's such a commitment,
It is. We actually broadcast from the local mall, the shopping mall, and I see so many tattoos. It's just how unbelievable. I mean, skin is an attractive thing if you're a young person.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, amen. I think it wasn't Weird Al, but it was who was the guy? It's a comedian years ago, but he said like the punk movement was a plot by the plain girls to get the pretty girls to mess up their faces or something.
Could be, yeah.
Here's another line about tattoos. A tattoo is a permanent reminder of a temporary feeling.
Wow.
There you go. I think it should be a country song, but
it should.
Gina, you've got a comedy bit going here. Thank you so much for being on the air. I'm so sorry we've run out of time, but let's make sure the listeners can find your books. Are they, obviously the website stuffyoualreadyknow.com.
Right, and you can also, there's a free download at stuffforcollegestudents.com, and there are links to the books on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can also get the ebook directly from yours truly. But yeah, go to your local bookstore. They should be available, but you can definitely get them on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com.
Excellent. What a fun way to end the morning. Thank you so much, Gina. Enjoy your day, your Memorial Day. Enjoy your day.
Will.
Thank you, Gina.
Take care.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The Plains state's pummeled with more severe weather. In San Marcos, Texas,
there are power lines down, debris in the roadways, bridges undermined.
Fire Marshal Ken Bell, 8 people in that area missing, hundreds of homes destroyed.
We're expecting more areas of heavy rain and also severe weather possible across the center of the nation, and that's all with a storm system that's on the move. And this is the same storm system responsible for several reports of tornadoes over the weekend.
Fox meteorologist Maria Molina. Ceremonies across the nation this Memorial Day to honor those who served our country at the National World War II Museum in New Orleans.
Stephen Watson is with the museum and says of the 16 million that served,
we only have about 850,000 of the World War II veterans still with us.
Their numbers are dwindling at the rate of almost 500 per day.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers. President Obama today laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns with remarks at Arlington National Cemetery. Fox News. We report, you decide.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
At Olympic, we make every